Okay, we have heard about one story. Here is another nice lady here. Hello, maybe you can introduce yourself.
Hi, yes, my name is Carol. Hi, and I'm part of the Livable Mountain Group. And oh gosh, I became involved. I've been involved maybe over 6 months.
Wow.
And I was one by one, I was disturbed by what I was seeing.
Yes.
I was seeing one lovely business after another.
Yes.
Building, historical, or places that I would frequent. You know, I would sort of take a walk and then go, oh my gosh, I'd see that sign that says, you know, under development or you know, about to be under development. And I just saw one by one, and I've been through this before, so I know what can happen when big business moves in on a town and changes the flavor of that town.
You have been living there for long?
I've been here 6 years. I've been here 6 years.
Yeah.
So, and the reason I moved here was because I loved that it was a real town, that it had not been, you know, taken over by chain stores or ubiquitous sort of box, you know, big box stores. It had, I guess, at one point, but a previous mayor had come in with a team of people, and they hired experts, and they built a downtown that it is much what we see at the other end of Castro Street today. Unfortunately, now we have more of what I call a dead zone, where office buildings, much like the one you're seeing here, the one behind me, Beer House is about to go down to yet another office building.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, and that is a favorite. You know, I think it's taken them almost 10 years to really get the business cooking, and now they're going to put an office building there because the landowner, you know, wants to sell up to these big developers who build office buildings. They're not building public spaces. They say they're going to build retail space on the ground floor. We've been lied to. We've been and I'll use the word lied, because whoever built Bryant Street told the city, Bryant Plaza, they told the city that that first floor was going to be a cafe. It was going to be for public use. I have a very good friend who's an architect. Actually, numerous architects have told me it was never built to have a first floor public space. It was built as an office building with a lobby. Okay. So that's deception. And I'm not saying that the city was being deceptive, although I think they would tell you it was a big mistake. But the land developer, their tenant never wanted the public in the ground floor for security reasons or whatever. But then you see this building here where they've taped off. And you are told you're not welcome here. So this is our town. Yeah, this is our town. And they do this, and then all of a sudden, you have the rest of the town except for this. And then you walk another block, and then you have the rest of the town except for that. And then pretty soon 2 more blocks. It's a hole, and it breaks the flow of traffic, and it's strangling our businesses. These office buildings don't build enough parking, so they are able to use our public parking. And there's a deal made between the city and the building owner. I don't want to get too technical, but essentially it's called in lieu of parking, which means that the developer pays a dollar amount for the fact that they didn't build enough parking spaces, and then thereby allowed to use the parking spaces that we all need, right? And that certainly our businesses need. So this is maddening. And what happens is at peak hours, when the businesses, lunchtime, dinner time, their customers can't park. And so they drive around and drive around and drive around, and then eventually they just say it's impossible to park in Mountain View, and so forget it. And we're not building more parking, we're taking away parking. And we're building more office buildings. So we have office buildings who their workers are sequestered inside the buildings because the offices are feeding them for free. And then they don't go out and utilize our resources in terms of restaurants, the clothing stores, the bookstores, and so those businesses starve. Their rents are going up. They have a lack of parking now, and now all these people that moved in that took up those resources are not eating and frequenting. They're drinking. I mean, the good news is, I guess, you're drinking. So if you have a liquor license, you're probably in pretty good shape, but if you don't, you know, you're in trouble. If you're a clothing store, you're definitely in trouble. So I've gone through and door to door, really sat down and had lunch and talked to the owner or talked to the managers. Their workers they can't afford to pay. So think of it. Here again, it's another component. Now you've got minimum wage is $15. They can't park in the parking lot, which I said earlier. That, you know, their lease rents have gone up, which I said earlier, and the traffic is down in terms of people coming into their stores.
The food traffic.
Foot traffic, yes.
Yeah, the food
absolutely.
Traffic. Yeah.
And then if you're a family, you know, and you want to have your children go into the downtown that we so enjoy,
yes,
that is quickly going away.
Yeah.
And we're not planting the trees the way we used to. We don't have flowers the way we used to. That it really is eroding rapidly. There's no question. And so we're here to say enough is enough. You know, this is our town. These businesses should be providing subsidies of some kind to help us keep the town lively. This is our opportunity, really, for our downtown to be extraordinary.
Yes.
And I think that's what's so frustrating.
Exactly.
We're just sort of sucking up to these developers, and we're not really saying, wait a minute, why don't we just stop? Sorry, loud engine.
Yes.
Why don't we just stop?
Yes.
And look at developing a wonderful plan, and getting the transportation that we need, and getting the walkability that we need, and making it lovely and beautiful, and expanding out to those side streets, which then create traffic that has you going to and from, back and forth, north and south, east and west, and they all feed each other, the businesses.
Let's start one step at a time. Stop that things to happen, right?
Yeah, you have to just stop right now and think. And we don't have the expertise on staff, I don't believe. It certainly doesn't look that way. We've been to every meeting, we hear recommendations made. I just don't see it happening.
Okay.
And this is my town, I invested in it, my family invested in it, and no. I mean, just no, they can't do it. They have to follow the rules.
When are they going to make decision?
It is November the 28th, and so anyone who's listening to this should come, absolutely. You're allowed to speak. If you don't feel like speaking, just be there, be present, let the town council
It's open
and
door?
staff, absolutely.
Open door,
Absolutely.
okay.
5 o'clock.
Yeah.
It may start later, but right now we know it's 5 o'clock, and it's really critical for anyone who loves Mountain View and loves walking and enjoying all its resources to stop what's happening here.
Thank you so much. This is so telling.
Thank
it's
you.
Very passionately and telling story. Thank you.
Thank you.